Alright guys, here we are with my Arcade1up Tron review that I just got into my arcade room. I've been really looking forward to this machine because I'm a really big fan of the Tron movie, but also I'm a really big fan, as I've talked about on this channel, about arcade machines that offer unique controls. And this machine definitely offers that in spades, with of course the unique controls that it has, which we're going to get into here in a few. But I was really excited to have this cabinet because it had some unique features that weren't featured in other Arcade1up, so I was hoping they did a good job on it. So we'll go ahead and get into this video now. We'll see what they did, we'll see what they added, and how this cabinet actually turned out. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with the Tron cabinet here in front of me, and I will turn the lights on here to do a quick overview real quick of the outside of it, but we'll leave the LED lights for a second so you can see here on the side what the artwork looks like that they did on the side. Really cool artwork there on the side for Tron, as you're looking at here. The bottom base is just a black until you get to the bottom with the artwork there, but the side over here is just black, and then you get to this artwork here on the side. It's the same artwork on both sides of the unit, of course. Other side is the exact same thing here on this side. And then of course this is the front of the cabinet. As you're looking at here, there's the Tron, there's the artwork on the side there, and there is the artwork on the front, which we'll get into in a minute. And then the black area here is just black, nothing on there in the front. And then on the riser you have the two games of Tron and Disc of Tron. Now let's turn the lights off here to talk about the main feature of this cabinet that really makes it stand out. Well, one of the main reasons that it stands out, and that is of course the LED lights. This thing is filled with LED lights everywhere. So we got the Tron marquee that is of course lit up just like most of their other cabinets, and mine looks really good. I think it looks evenly spread out. It doesn't look washed out or anything to me. I think it looks good. So we got that there. Then if you look underneath, there's a blue light or light underneath there, which is shining on all of these pieces of artwork here. So you can see this artwork is blacklit, so all of these artwork here on the side and stuff all light up with that artwork, with the light shining from the top and hitting on the sides here. The next thing that lights up is this panel here, right here in the middle. And you can actually change this color to whatever color you want. There's a hidden button right here next to the screen that you feel for, and you can press it and change it to multicolor. So you can choose whatever color you want. You can turn it off completely, which is the default when the cabinet turns on, or you can actually change it to whatever color you want there to add some LED lights. And then of course the Tron stick itself, which of course lights up just like the original Tron stick did, lights up really well here. And then we even have the front J panel actually lit up as well, and this looks really good on the Arcade1up machine as well, and definitely offers a unique take on any of their other machines that did not have that lit up in any of the other previous cabinets. This is definitely a cabinet that people are going to walk up to and be like, oh my god, that looks fantastic in your arcade room. It looks as good as everyone was hoping it did. It really stands out with the marquee lighting up, the flight stick lighting up, the back panel here lighting up, everything backlit there, and the front lighting up. All of it looks really good, along with the top there that also lights up in purple. Now, one of the other things we got to talk about too is, of course, that makes it unique also, is look how far back this screen is. Like, look how much distance there is from the actual screen. It's really like leaned back, just like the original arcade machine was, and that also gives it a very unique look compared to the other Arcade1up machines. If you look around my room here, most of the screens are usually just, and I know most of my machines are currently powered off, but you can still see that these screens there are right up against the glass. Golden Sea, some of them are a little tilted, but none of them are, you know, that far back on any of the machines. But this one here is literally completely far back. I can literally, like while I'm standing here, put my whole hand in here before I even touch the screen, right there. So this is how far my hand has to go before I can even touch the screen there. And it really adds a unique perspective of how you actually play the game, and it's exactly how the original was, so it's really cool to see. And then of course we have the controls here, the flight stick here. I actually think feels really good in the hands. I think Arcade1up did a really fantastic job with this. This trigger button on the back does feel really clicky, as you can hear that there. And this is for the Disc of Tron button, so you can go ahead and block with this one. This button feels a little mushy, but it still works, as you can hear there. And then, of course, we have the spinner. What makes a spinner unique is not only does it spin like this, and that's how far it spins. I think it spins pretty well. Not as good as some of the aftermarket ones out there, but still good and much better than their previous spinners in some other games for sure. But it also offers the push system as well, so you can actually push this down, and that is used in Disc of Tron as well. So you can actually push this down, so it's push and pull, which is really interesting. A first for Arcade1up, but I think that also works really well. So I think they did a good job with the unique controls. The flight stick feels really good in the hands, appropriate to the size, really lights up well, just like the original does. And the push and pull spinner, though not the best compared to aftermarket ones, are still really solid and works really well for the 2 games that I've played. And then there's, of course, the live button here in the corner, and this game offers leaderboards. There's no other online multiplayer, just leaderboard support for Tron, which is still a lot of fun to chase those leaderboards and try and get on that high score. You'd be surprised how awesome it is or how addictive it is to try and get on those leaderboards. The power button is one that you actually have to hold to turn on, like some of their other machines. It's not one that you can just flick the switch on. So for all of us who use like smart switches and stuff like that, if you hit the power button, it's not going to turn on with the rest of your machine or anything like that, which is unfortunate because a lot of us use smart switches and stuff. So I'll actually have to turn the rest of my arcade machine on when the smart switch is on with like Google Home or something, and then actually have to come over here and actually flick this on. A couple of their other ones did that as well. And then, of course, here we have a headphone jack here in the corner. They started doing that with some of their newer machines. You can connect the headphone jack and listen to the audio through there. Sometimes this is used for voice chat like NBA Jam and hopefully Street Fighter soon. But yeah. And something I forgot to talk about too is the height of this machine. This is sitting next to my GRS Game Room Solutions gun cabinet here. So you can see how that compares there. You can see the Street Fighter 2 Big Blue sitting next to it. It's almost as tall as that, so it's definitely bigger than the rest of the Arcade1up machines. Only the Big Blue is a little bit taller, but still really, really close. So this is definitely a bigger machine than the rest of their machines out there. One of the things that I don't like is the fact that they left this front plate black that we were talking about before. I wish it would have added a coin door there or something like that, so we can actually have something there in the front, as opposed to it being a plain black. Coin door would have looked perfect in there, in my opinion. They've been doing that with some of their cabinets as well. That would have been a nice touch to fully bring this to life here. One of the other complaints that I would also have with this, if I want to talk about complaining a couple of things and nitpicking, is the speakers are still not the greatest. Just like they are a little bit better and sound a little bit louder than the Street Fighter one, which are horrendous, because hopefully that gets fixed in an update, because those speakers can definitely go louder on that Big Blue than they are right now. They sound really weak in the game for sure. We've all talked about that already, and I talked about that in my review. On here they definitely sound a little bit better and they sound a little bit louder, but still not what you would expect out of a $700 product. I think the speakers is something that they could definitely improve on future these generations of products, to add better quality speakers in there that go louder and sound a little bit better. But that's pretty much it. Those couple of issues that I had with it, with the front having something to actually put on there like a coin door like they used to do with some of those other machines that have already come out. And I wish that they also added better quality speakers. But overall, I'm really, really happy with this machine and how it turned out. Now let's go ahead and show you guys some gameplay on this Tron machine. Now, full disclosure, I've never actually played these games before. This is actually the first time like I said, I really like the movie, but I never actually played the Tron games before. I was just interested in the fact that this cabinet is very unique, stands out in your arcade room. That was the first reason that I bought it. And then I was hoping the games were fun. Luckily for me, as somebody who's never played this, even though I've heard controversial things, and if the games are actually good, I'm actually having a fun time. I definitely like Disc of Tron better and chasing those high scores. And eventually, I'm not sure yet, I might even mod this to control all the flight games and the spinner games on here. Maybe further down the road, but right now I'm enjoying the leaderboard support, because obviously you would lose that if you mod it. So we'll see how that goes in the future, but for right now, it controls really well. So let me show you some quick gameplay on here, on the Tron here. So here's a Tron game. 4 different areas indicate 4 different mini games. So I'll scroll up here, and the first one here. So basically, you move the spinner here, and you actually try to kill these things around here, but you have to enter, and I just lost. You have to enter the center of the. I'm really bad at the game. Let me perform that real. Let me let you guys know that. Let me lower this a little bit. I'm really bad at the game, just to let you guys know. And then the next mini game here, this one is to try to enter the cone here. And you use the spinner to move his hand and try to shoot to get into the cone. And you can see I got a game over because I'm pretty bad. Let's try that one more time here. Let's go over here to this side. And this one's about light, tracing your light cycles. Basically a clone of like Snake and stuff like that, where you're basically going around trying to. And he got me in a corner really well. Again, the AI is not hard. It's pretty inventive there, but I'm also really bad at the game in general. So you're basically playing these 4 mini games. Like I said, trying to get the highest score. This tank game, obviously, you're trying to be the last person standing. You use a spinner to actually move across here. And I still lost. Like I said, guys, this isn't a pro gameplay here. This is just to show you what the gameplay is like here. Again, if we go to the light cycle one, we have to avoid hitting the light traces from your opponent. You're going around, and you can control it by hitting the trigger here how fast you actually go. The stick is actually pretty accurate. Ooh, I lasted pretty long that time. I was going to go around him and go down and see if you can get him to go there. But as you can see, that is basically the Tron gameplay. I want to show you guys some discs of Tron as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at that gameplay. Now before we go into discs of Tron here, let me just show you a little bit of the main menu. So you can see here, when you're looking at the Tron, it shows you the top scores on any settings. Press any button to start Tron, move up and down to select a different game, move left or right to change the settings, and move right to access the online feature. So you can go ahead and click here and kind of look through the leaderboards, and you can scroll here, look through the arcade settings, and then see who the high score is. Of course, I'm terrible sitting at all the way at the bottom for Tron, but then Disc of Tron loads here as well. You can see your leaderboard score there. I'm 581, freaking terrible with my terrible score, but it is fun to come in here and, like I said, try and get the highest score and see how well you actually do. And then, of course, you have settings for each of the games as well. You can just hit the, when you're actually hovering over a game, just hit the left, and then it will go to the settings, and then you can click on this and hide this menu. You can see the lives that you start, the bonuses, the difficulty, the smoothing, stuff like that. Scroll up and hide that, and then you can go to Disc of Tron, click on the settings as well, and do the same thing for the first and second bonuses, and change that if you want to as well. That's pretty much it for the main menu. You got some Wi-Fi settings there in the corner if you need them. I'm obviously already connected to Wi-Fi with the leaderboards. Then you just select the game and you click the back trigger. It shows you a little bit of the controls, of course. And you could play 2 players on here, where it basically rotates. One player goes and the second person goes, and you're basically competing against each other to have the highest score, which is fun to do. So Disc of Tron is basically you're on one platform and the AI is on the other. You use the spinner to control that little blue thing that's moving back there, and that's where your reticle is actually going to go. And you're basically throwing these discs, as you see here, trying to get your opponent. You can throw it off the wall if you want to. You can hit the block button, which I'll do here right now. You can see that gets blocked. Block that one as well. And then, of course, you can move around so you don't get hit. Ooh, he almost got me off of there. I'm doing well, not dying, but I'm not doing very well to actually get him off of this. We both hit each other. Oh, oh. I could have had him if I had another. Oh, there we go. Got him off. And then as you progress to the levels, it does get harder. You know, you get more areas to actually jump off of. It's not just one platform that the game remains. Oh, we got him there again. That's very good. I'm definitely better at Disc of Tron than I am at Tron, that's for sure. Still not great, but at least I can show you some stuff on here. Yeah, you can see here now you can kind of jump back and forth on different platforms, so it definitely gets crazier as you're trying to do it. And then you can see here, you can start throwing things off the wall. Got him there as well. We're about to set a new high score here real quick. Got him there again. All right, all right. On to the next level here. Now we got 3 platforms here that we can rotate between. Ooh, he knocked me down real hard on that one. Got him on that one. And you can see the controls work really well. I'm having a really easy time, controlling this and not having any issues with the actual controls. I can move where I want to move. I can move the reticle where I want it to go. And this is just a really addicting game, especially if you're a fan of the Tron movie. It's just a lot of fun to actually do this. Oh, I got him in the corner. There we go. And now we have a little barrier there, so they add some different things as the game continues. Oh, we just got knocked off. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, he's supposed to be taunting you and stuff, but he doesn't do that. And I just fell off because I wasn't paying attention. He's supposed to be taunting you and stuff. Unfortunately, there's no taunts in this one. From what I heard, that's actually only the sit-down cabinet that actually had it, not the actual one that we have here, which is they're trying to mimic the stand-up one. So take that for what you will. So you can see here, I got the high score. All right, we got a little bit on the leaderboards there. It's better than nothing. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, if you're looking for those sound effects and those voiceovers and stuff from him when he actually taunts you and stuff, but they're not in here because it was only in the sit-down one, and this is mimicking the stand-up one, as you guys can see here. At least that's from everything I've heard. Like I said, I never played the original in the arcades or anything, but from what I gathered from the information, it's definitely not here, and that's the reason why. Maybe Arcade1up can add that in the future. It would be really cool if they did, but it's not here currently. So yeah, guys, overall, I'm really, really impressed with this machine. It is exactly what I wanted it for. I got a fun game out of it for a person who loves the movies, as you guys can see from my sign there. That's sitting up there, Flynn's Arcade. I love the movie. I wanted this arcade machine because of the unique controls. Like I said, I'm all about unique controls. I don't have room for unlimited machines in this room. So I was able to make room for this and make room for one more, actually, for the future by getting rid of the fridge that used to be in the corner. For those of you guys who watch my videos, you know that fridge is no longer there. But I was able to make room for this, and I'm really happy I did because the unique controls are fun, and the game is surprisingly fun. I was worried that I wasn't going to like it at all because people kept saying the game wasn't great, but I'm having a really fun time with this. As somebody who's never played the original in the arcades or anything like that, and just a fan of the movies, this Tron is definitely an addicting game. I could play that game all on its own, and always go after the high scores and go after the leaderboards and try to get higher and higher. And it's really, really addicting to do, which is why I'm not going to mod this for a while because I want to chase those leaderboards. But yeah, I'm really having a good time with this. I think that this is probably their best looking machine out of any machine. The only one that compares to it, in my opinion, is the big blue one because of the unique look and the fact that it has online multiplayer and all that stuff. Both of these. And as far as value goes, I know a lot of people are complaining about the price of $700. And I agree that $700 is a lot, but luckily I was using the Target 10% discount along with the 5% red. So I got this for $600, a little over $600, and then plus tax, so $650 altogether. And I think it's well worth that price, in my opinion, for me. I know that that's not going to be worth everyone's price, but for me, with the unique controls, the fact that I love Tron the movie, the fact that I'm having fun with the game, and the fact that I can mod this in the future if I want to be able to play flight games that I won't be able to play on other machines that easily. The closest I can do is like on the Star Wars one with a yoke. You can play most of these that way, but the flight stick is obviously a different experience. So I'm really, really happy with the purchase that I got this for. And if you guys have any questions, as always, guys, leave those questions down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.